The world of red wine, an art and science. Red wine is not just a beverage, but also a culture, carrying thousands of years of history and tradition. This video will introduce red wine from multiple dimensions, helping ordinary users gain a deeper understanding of this fascinating drink. The cultural history of red wine. Red wine, one of the oldest beverages in the world, has a rich history and cultural depth that nearly parallels the development of human civilization. Throughout history, red wine has been more than just a drink. It has been an indispensable element in cultural exchanges, social ceremonies, and religious activities. Origins and early development. The origins of red wine can be traced back to about 8,000 years ago. Archaeologists have discovered the oldest known wine production sites in what is now Georgia. These early winemaking facilities indicate that ancient peoples had mastered the basic techniques of fermenting grapes into wine. Subsequently, the technology of winemaking spread with the diffusion of agriculture to the Middle East, particularly in Iran and Armenia. In ancient Egypt, red wine was exclusive to royalty and nobility, often used at banquets and religious ceremonies. Wine was associated with life and rebirth, frequently found in pharaohs' tombs, symbolizing hopes for the afterlife. Ancient Greece and the Roman Empire. Red wine held an extremely important place in ancient Greek culture. The Greeks not only drank wine, but also mythologized it, creating the god of wine, Dionysus. Wine in Greece was seen as a symbol of civilization, accompanying poets, philosophers, and politicians in social interactions and debates. The Greeks also brought winemaking techniques to their colonies, such as southern Italy and Sicily, making a significant contribution to the spread of wine culture. During the Roman Empire, the consumption and production of red wine reached new heights. The Romans conducted systematic studies and records of wine production, developing various grape cultivation and winemaking techniques. Red wine was not only a part of daily life, but also an essential supply for the Roman army. As the Roman Empire expanded, grape cultivation and winemaking techniques spread throughout Europe, especially in the Rhine Valley of France and Germany. Prosperity in the Middle Ages. In the Middle Ages, the production and consumption of red wine were supported by religious institutions in Europe. Many monasteries brewed red wine to meet the needs of religious ceremonies and widely used it for its medicinal properties. During this time, the winemaking techniques of Bordeaux and Burgundy in France and the Chianti region in Italy matured, and these areas remain renowned wine-producing regions today. Modern development. By the 19th century, with advances in technology and the expansion of global trade, red wine production entered an industrial stage, significantly improving in both quality and quantity. Wine spread to the New World through colonial trade networks, including South Africa, Australia, and the Americas. The modern wine industry is not only a part of agriculture, but also a major force in global cultural exchange and economic development. The evolution of red wine history reveals a broad picture of technology, culture, and social interaction. Each glass of wine is a microcosm of its region's history, carrying the deep memory of human civilization. Through a glass of red wine, we can glimpse past lifestyles and feel the blend of different cultures and eras. Red wine classification, exploring diversity and complexity. The classification of red wine is a complex process that involves varietals, regions, and winemaking techniques. Understanding these classifications is crucial for appreciating the depth and breadth of red wine, helping consumers make better choices and enjoy different types of red wine. Classification by grape varietals. Grape varietal is one of the key factors influencing the style and flavor of red wine. Each varietal has unique characteristics, such as skin thickness, juice flavor, and growth cycle, which ultimately determine the wine's flavor, color, tannins, and aging potential. Cabernet Sauvignon, known as one of the most famous red wines, originating from the Bordeaux region of France, renowned for its rich fruit aromas and high tannin content, often blended with Merlot and Cabernet Franc to create the so-called Bordeaux blend. Merlot, a medium-bodied grape with lower tannins and generally softer flavors, making it more accessible for beginners. It can be made into wine on its own or commonly used in blends to add roundness to the wine body. Pinot Noir, known for its elegant aroma and lower tannins, this varietal is a signature of the Burgundy region. Wines made from Pinot Noir have lighter colors and delicate flavors, suitable for pairing with various dishes. Syrah Shiraz. This grape is extensively grown in France's Rhone Valley and in Australia, where it is usually called Shiraz. Wines from this grape are deep purple with spicy, berry, and smoky flavors. Classification by region? The style and quality of red wine are also greatly influenced by their region of origin, as local climate, soil, and cultivation techniques profoundly affect the wine's characteristics. Bordeaux, France. Dominated by Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot, Bordeaux red wines are known for their complexity and aging potential. Tuscany, Italy. Known for Sangiovese-based wines like Chianti and the more prestigious Brunello di Montalcino. California, USA. With its diverse climates, California produces a variety of red wine styles, from the robust Cabernet Sauvignons of Napa Valley to the elegant Pinot Noirs of Sonoma County. Classification by winemaking and aging techniques. Differences in winemaking techniques are also a key aspect of red wine classification. Factors such as fermentation temperature, types of yeast used, fermentation containers, stainless steel, ceramic, or oak, and aging methods, oak barrels or bottle aging, significantly influence the final product style. Wines aged in oak barrels typically exhibit smoky, vanilla, and toasted bread aromas, which come from the infusion of wood elements from the barrel. Stainless steel aging. This method preserves more of the grape's original fruity flavors, resulting in a fresher, more fruit-forward wine. Understanding the classifications of red wine not only aids in making better choices and appreciating the drink, but also deepens the understanding of the unique flavors and experiences brought by different grape varietals and winemaking techniques. Each category of red wine has its unique story and value for tasting, and exploring these categories is like embarking on a cultural and gustatory adventure. The art of red wine production, from grape to glass. The production of red wine is a complex science and a deeply creative art. This process involves meticulous techniques and a respect for traditional crafts, each step significantly impacting the final product's quality and flavor. 1. Grape selection and harvesting. The making of red wine begins with the selection of grapes, a crucial step in the winemaking process. Quality grapes are essential for producing fine red wine. Harvest timing is usually determined by the grape's ripeness and weather conditions, aiming to pick when the sugar, acidity, and tannins are optimally balanced. 2. Crushing and destemming. After harvesting, the grapes are transported to the winery for crushing. Before this process, destemming occurs, separating the grape berries from the stems to prevent bitter flavors during winemaking. The grapes are then gently crushed to break the skins and release the juice, a process known as crushing. Fermentation. Once crushed, the grape juice, along with the skins and seeds, is placed into fermentation tanks. As the color and many flavor compounds in red wine primarily come from the skins, it's crucial during fermentation to ensure thorough contact between the skins and the juice. Fermentation begins with yeast converting the sugar in the juice into alcohol and carbon dioxide, occurring in a temperature-controlled environment and typically lasting 1 to 2 weeks. 4. Pumping over and maceration. To ensure that the skins release more color and tannins, winemakers regularly stir the fermentation tanks or use a technique called pumping over, where the liquid at the bottom of the tank is pumped over the skins. Additionally, after fermentation, the wine may continue to macerate with the skins for a period to further extract pigments and flavors. 5. Pressing and initial clarification. Once fermentation and maceration are complete, the solids and liquids need to be separated. The grape skins and seeds are pressed to collect the remaining liquid, called press wine, which typically has stronger tannins than free-run wine that flows directly from the fermentation tanks without pressing. The wine is then usually transferred to another container for initial clarification to remove more solid residues. 6. Aging. Aging is a critical step in red wine production. Most red wines are aged in oak barrels for several months to several years, during which the wine absorbs oxygen and woody flavors from the barrel, adding complexity and depth to the taste. The length of aging and the type of oak barrels used, new or old, origin, and toasting level, influence the final product's style. NAR 7. Bottling and bottle maturation. The final stage is bottling. Before bottling, red wine typically undergoes filtration and/or cold stabilization to ensure its stability and clarity. After bottling, many high-quality red wines continue to mature in the bottle for some time, further developing their flavors and texture. Through these intricate and interdependent steps, red wine transforms from simple grapefruit into a complex, multi-layered beverage. Each stage reflects the winemaker's skill and pursuit of quality, collectively shaping the unique flavor and character of the red wine. The science and art of storing red wine, ensuring optimal quality. Proper storage of red wine is key to maintaining its best quality. The conditions under which red wine is stored not only affect its shelf life, but also the development and maturation of its taste. Understanding and mastering the correct storage techniques can help wine enthusiasts protect their precious collections and enjoy the changes in depth that red wine develops over time. Temperature control. The ideal temperature for storing red wine typically ranges from 12 degrees to 18 degrees Celsius. Temperatures that are too high can accelerate the aging process, causing the wine to lose flavor and structure. Temperatures that are too low may hinder the wine's natural maturation process or cause the liquid to freeze, damaging the seal. Additionally, stability in temperature is crucial as frequent fluctuations can negatively impact the wine's structure and future development. Humidity management. The ideal humidity level is between 60% and 70%. Proper humidity helps maintain the elasticity of the cork, preventing it from drying out and cracking. If the cork dries and cracks, air may seep into the bottle, leading to oxidation, thus degrading the quality of the wine. However, excessive humidity can lead to mold growth or label deterioration. Light and vibration red wine should be stored away from direct light, especially sunlight, as ultraviolet rays can degrade organic molecules in the wine, altering its taste and aroma. Additionally, the storage environment should be as free from vibration as possible. Frequent vibrations can disrupt the sedimentation process of the wine, affecting its maturation. Horizontal storage wine bottles should be stored horizontally to ensure the liquid is in contact with the cork, keeping it moist. If the cork dries out, it may shrink and allow air to enter the bottle, accelerating the oxidation process. Avoiding odorous environments. Red wine should be stored in a well-ventilated and odor-free environment. Corks can absorb strong odors, which could eventually affect the wine's flavor. The storage space should not coexist with items that emit strong odors, such as chemicals or cleaning agents. Professional storage equipment and spaces. For serious collectors or those with a large volume of wine, investing in professional wine cabinets or constructing a wine cellar is worth considering. These professional facilities and spaces are designed to maintain ideal storage conditions over the long term, such as constant temperature and humidity, and are typically equipped with anti-vibration and light protection features. By properly storing red wine using the above methods, its lifespan can be significantly extended and a better sensory experience can be achieved when tasting. The correct storage methods not only protect the investment, but also enhance the pleasure derived from the wine's evolution over time. Each bottle of properly stored red wine can become a treasure of the future, making wine tasting a journey through time. Red wine tasting, the art of a sensory journey. Tasting red wine is a comprehensive sensory experience that involves visual, olfactory, and gustatory perceptions. Mastering the correct tasting techniques not only enhances the enjoyment of tasting, but also deepens the understanding and appreciation of the complexity and diversity of red wine. Visual appreciation. The first step in tasting red wine is visual observation, which can give an initial assessment of the wine's age and potential quality. Pour the wine into an appropriate glass and tilt it to observe the color and clarity of the liquid. Young red wines typically have a deep color, displaying vibrant purple-red hues. As they age, the color gradually shifts to brick red or brown. Additionally, the viscosity of the wine can be judged by observing the speed at which the wine tears slide down the glass. The slower the tears, the thicker the body of the wine. Olfactory evaluation. The sense of smell is the most crucial part of wine tasting. Before tasting, gently swirl the wine in the glass to increase the wine's contact with air, releasing more aromas. Then take a deep breath and try to identify the various aromatic components. The aromas of red wine can generally be divided into 3 levels: primary aromas, mainly the fruit scents of the grape; secondary aromas, arising during fermentation, such as yeast; and tertiary aromas introduced during the aging process from the oak, such as vanilla and smoke. Taste analysis. Tasting is the climax of the wine tasting process. Take a small sip of the wine, let it touch different parts of the tongue, and experience the wine's sweetness, acidity, tannins, and body. The acidity of red wine stimulates the sides of the mouth, while the sensation of tannins is primarily felt in the middle and back of the tongue, producing a certain astringency. This method allows for assessing the balance, complexity, and length of the wine's finish. Communication and recording. Tasting red wine is not only a personal sensory experience, but also a social activity. Sharing tasting experiences with others and discussing different impressions and opinions can make the tasting more enjoyable and broaden one's perspective. Additionally, recording observations and discoveries during the tasting process, such as the wine's name, origin, vintage, and personal impressions and evaluations, is very helpful for developing tasting skills and deepening knowledge of red wine. Through this systematic tasting process, wine enthusiasts can not only enjoy the delightful flavors of red wine, but also gradually develop a deeper understanding and appreciation of it. Tasting red wine is, in fact, an experience of culture, a way of traveling through time and space via the palate. Have red wine and the economy. The dynamic impact on global industry. The red wine industry is a significant part of the global economy, encompassing agriculture, manufacturing, and retail, as well as extensive international trade and investment. From small family-run vineyards to large multinational wine corporations, the red wine industry plays a multifaceted role in the global economic landscape. Economic contributions of red wine. The red wine industry makes a significant economic contribution to many countries. In nations like France, Italy, Spain, the USA, and Australia, the wine industry is a vital economic pillar involving a wide range of employment opportunities, from grape cultivation and winemaking to bottling, marketing, and sales. Additionally, the red wine industry also fosters the growth of related sectors, including logistics, hospitality, catering, and tourism. Global trade and market dynamics. Red wine is a key commodity in global trade. According to data from the International Organization of Vine and Wine, OIV, international trade in wine grows annually, with European countries being the largest exporting regions. Emerging markets such as China, Brazil, and India have seen rapid growth in wine consumption in recent years, becoming focal points for the global wine industry. Investment and collecting. Red wine is also an important area for investment and collecting. High-quality red wines, especially limited editions from well-known regions and historic vineyards, often possess high collectible value and investment potential. Investing in wine can yield economic returns and serve as a hedge against inflation and economic uncertainties. Social and cultural impact. Beyond direct economic benefits, the red wine industry profoundly impacts society and culture. In many wine-producing regions, wine is a part of local culture, with related festivals and activities attracting numerous international tourists. For example, the Bordeaux Wine Festival in France and the Rioja Vineyard Tours in Spain are integral to local cultural promotion and economic development. Challenges and future outlook. Despite the many positive effects of the red wine industry, it faces several challenges, including the impact of climate change on grape cultivation, increased competition in international markets, and shifts in consumer preferences. Addressing these challenges requires innovation and adaptation within the industry, such as adopting more environmentally friendly cultivation and production methods and exploring new markets and consumer demographics. The relationship between red wine and the economy illustrates that this is not only an art of taste and enjoyment, but also an industry with profound economic implications. From business and investment to cultural perspectives, red wine demonstrates its irreplaceable importance in the global economy.